morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Keith. Keith was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have a really neat car for you today, folks. This is the MJX Hypergo H14MK Street Basher. This is a really cool car, folks. First off, look at those LEDs. Aren't they neat? This thing's lit up real well, back and front. Does it have turn signals too? Let's find out. Yep, turn signals also. Blinking turn signals. I don't know if you can see that, folks, but let's show that. So when you turn left and right, the turn signals work. Also in front. Let's show that up front again. The LEDs up front. Such a cool car. I like this thing. Take a look up front here. Turning right, turning left. There we go. So H14 or H14MK. This is a 1/14 scale street basher. It looks a lot like the Arma. What is that called? The Arma Infraction? Yeah, Arma Infraction. But the Arma Infraction is about twice the size of this, almost 3 times the size of this, and it goes about twice the speed of this. So that's where the similarities end, just by the the looks of it. But let's pop it open and see actually what's underneath the hood here. And I think you'll still be impressed with this particular car because there is a lot of neat stuff that's included with this thing. So let's open it up. Okay, this is a close-up look of the H14MK. And again, looking at it, you can see that the canopy itself does look quite a bit like the Arma Infraction. But keep in mind, the Arma Infraction is twice the size of this, goes almost twice the speed of this. So that's where the comparison ends there, right there. The canopy, the look of the canopy. Now, one thing though, before we go pop the top, let's test out those shocks on this, those oil-filled shocks. Does a nice job, folks, of dampening out bumps. So they actually work well on this particular car, is what I'm trying to say. Now, the canopy is held in place, as with most RC cars, by cotter pins, and I removed them all so we can have easy access to take a look what's under the hood there. But when you remove this hood, be very careful, and I'll show you why here shortly. Let me pop it like that. Just tilt it slightly and do not pull the hood straight up, because looking right away, you'll see that it has this wire here connected to the canopy, and that's that control wire and power wire for the lights on this, the LED lights. So leave that alone, folks. Be very careful popping it up. Now, I notice another thing that this has that a lot of other RC cars do not have. It has a dust cover here for the electronics to protect the electronics from dust and water splashes. So it does have some nice protection right there with this simple dust cover. Now, this dust cover is also held in place by cotter pins, which I've removed, so that we can get in there and quickly take a look under to see what we have underneath here. But first off, look at these oil-filled shocks. They are nice oil-filled shocks, and again, they perform very well in keeping this car from bouncing around. Now, lifting this up, let's take a look what we got underneath here. Getting that out of the way so you can see. Now, first off, notice we have whole metal differential system for the car. No, not plastic at all, folks. So that's good right there. That's probably going to last a while. Another thing I want you to notice is the receiver. It has a separate receiver. It's not integrated into the ESC like a lot of other cars. That allows you to use your own controller if you don't like this particular controller. Pop your own controller with receiver in there, and go to time with your own controller if you don't like the controller that comes with this. And I'm going to talk about that controller here shortly. One other thing I want you to know is it has a gyro system, folks, that keeps this car driving straight. Particularly, it's attached to the digital servo, which is under the ESC. The ESC is right here under this fan here. But underneath the ESC is the digital steering servo. And this controls, automatically adjusts the front steering to keep the back wheels from spinning out, right or left. Okay, to try to keep this car moving straight. And that's a big advantage of this particular car that a lot of other RC cars in this price range do not have this gyro system installed in it. Another thing I want to talk about is the 45 amp ESC. Let's see if I can turn it around. Let's pop it the other way so we can see the stuff on this side of the car. And turn it. There we go. Now here's that 45 amp ESC, and there's a steering servo beneath it there. But notice that we have a fan screwed on top of this, a cooling fan, to keep that ESC cool. Particularly this car is capable of using 3S batteries, okay, with that 45 amp ESC. We can use either 2S or 3S. Now, I mentioned that it does come with a stock, I think I mentioned it comes with 2S stock battery, but you can use optional 3S. Do I got one right here? Yeah, here. I'm going to try it out later, folks. I'm going to pop it in there, particularly when we do speed runs of this. I won't be able to measure the speed, but we'll be able to visually estimate the speed difference using this 3S battery. I think this will really make this car hum. Okay, go fast. Say, go fast, go real fast. Okay, other things about it. Here's a biggie. It's got a 2845 3700 kV brushless motor, folks. Brushless motor on this car. This ain't no cheap toy car. This actually getting in the hobby grade area, along with this cooling fan for that motor, particularly when we're using that 3S battery. Okay, this will come into play. Other things about it, nice knobby tires. This car has really nice knobby tires, but the thing is, this car also comes with full set spares of additional knobby tires. This is, I guess, for rougher terrain, if you want to use this. I guess sand, these would come into play. And these here, these smooth ones. Now, what are these smooth ones? These are drift tires, folks. You put these on, and that enables that car to swerve, drift. And we're going to try that also, folks. We're going to plop this on and see how this drifts out in the street. So that's going to be a lot of fun, too. Okay, I mentioned, I just brushed on the battery. The battery, let's flip it around again so you can see that battery, the stock battery that this comes with. It's a 2S 7.4 volt. There it is right there. How many milliampere hour is that? 2,000 milliampere hour. There it is underneath there. 2,000 milliampere hour with Dean's connector, folks. So this car uses Dean's connector. And again, that's why we can use these generic style batteries too, that we will be using when we go test this here, particularly for speed tests. And that's about it. Now let's talk about other things with this car. Particularly, I mentioned I brushed on the transmitter, and I wanted to bring that up. The transmitter is pretty basic, folks. That's what I wanted to bring up. It's just a basic. Actually, I think it's more or less toy grade, in my opinion. But I might be wrong. Others might like this particular transmitter. But again, if you don't like it, you can upgrade to a better transmitter, your own transmitter. But let's go over the buttons you got on it. It does have steering trim. It does have a function button. I think that's for the lights. I tried this button down here. It does not seem to move, so this particular button does not work. But you have an on-off switch here for 70% or 70%. And 100% speed. So that's your rates, on-off switch with rates, steering trim, and basic steering, right and left, along with basic throttle control, forward and reverse. So that's its controller. It's powered by two AA batteries, and I got them screwed in there, so you're not going to be able to see them, but that's what's inside. So let's go over what you get with this particular car. Hold on while I adjust the view one more time. Okay, let's go over what you get in the package, folks. You get the car, of course. You get the controller. It goes with the car. You get 2 sets of spare tires, folks. Knobby set and drift tires over there. Additionally, you get car pins for this. You get the instruction manual, which goes over very well, how to work this particular car, along with some accessory bags. You get some spare, well, these are springs for the shocks. Two spare springs for the shocks, because you're going to lose them if you do change the shocks. They tend to pop, bing. So you got some more if you need it. Along with a battery charger for a 2S battery, along with the lug wrench for changing the tires, which you're probably going to want to do, playing with those tires, especially the spin tires. A little screwdriver, of course, the mandatory screwdriver for opening up these battery bays. And, yeah, I mentioned the charger already. I guess this is a 2S charger that comes in this particular package. It's powered via USB port right there. So if you do charge this, remember, use a 2-amp wall charger. Don't try charging this through your computer USB port. It'll take days to charge a 2,000 milliampere hour 2S battery. So you don't want to do that with your computer laptop. So you want a good phone wall charger. So that's what comes in the package, folks. Optionally, again, you can also purchase optional batteries to go with this if you wish. Bigger batteries, 3,000 milliamp per hour, or even a bigger 2,000 milliamp per hour. This is 2003S and 3002S to give you a longer drive time with this particular battery. So that's what you get, folks. Let's take it out into the field and see how it drives. Hope you enjoy these test drives. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the first test drive of the H14MK. Now notice, I put on those slick tires, those drift tires, so the first thing obviously we're going to try out is drifting on this thing. How does it do in drifting? So before we start, I need to turn on the controller, make sure the throttle's not being touched. In fact, I'm going to put the controller down on the ground, and next thing I do is turn on the ESC by pressing and holding this button here. And we should be bound to the controller, putting the car on the ground and picking up my controller. And we are in 50 or 70%. We're going to start off there. So let's adjust steering trim first. A little bit of left steering trim, going slowly. And there it goes. Oh yeah, this does drifting quite nicely. Look at that. So if you're into drifting, you could do that with this particular car. Donuts. I wonder what it would be if I changed the front tire, but then again it wouldn't slide sideways like that. Now you could do this with the other tires, I guess, but I wouldn't recommend it. Those rubber tires will probably wear down like erasers, a rubber eraser. This is cool. This is actually a lot of fun. Look at that thing drift. So if you want to drift, yeah, this will do it. Let's take it down the street. Well, it moves quite well. Now, the thing about drift tires is, folks, you get in a predicament like that in the grass, they don't have the traction to get out of there again. So we're going to go down there and plop it out of the grass and get it back, start it back up again. I can hear it running, but no, I ain't going to get out of that grass. That's drift tires for you, folks. That's what they do. And you can see that gyro actually coming into play. See how it's, I don't think you could do that without the gyro actually. This looks cool with those lights on it too, don't it? Drifting. Now I got the 2S stock battery in there right now. When I put on the better tires, we're gonna go to a different area and put it in a bigger battery, a 3S battery, and see how fast this thing can go. Drifting, drifting, drifting. It's like you're driving on ice with these tires. Oh, I spun out there. Okay. Why is this? Okay, I'm giving a full right, but it's turning to the left, folks. Let's find out what's going on here. What do we got here? The steering seemed to have been jammed there for a second. Must have been a rock in there. There we go. Yeah, probably was a rock got in there. So, fun with drifting. Yeah, this can drift. Sliding sideways. Side drifting. Okay, that's enough of it. We can see this can drift. Let's bring it up to us. And let's take it, change the tires, put a 3S in there and see how fast it'll go. So hope you enjoy the second part of this test drive. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the test drive of the H14MK Hypergo. Okay, this is a test drive with 3S battery. I got the 3S installed there. Hey, before we do this though, I wanted to mention one thing I forgot to mention in tabletop. Look at the ground clearance underneath this car. It's only about a ½ inch, folks. You got metal plate on the bottom here protecting it, you know, but still the ground clearance is pretty sparse. So four-wheel drive, off-wheel drive, you know, off-road driving, I don't know this thing being capable of, you know, going through thick grass. I don't see that either. This is a street racer is what I'm trying to infer, folks. Okay, made for street racing. So let's see, turning this on, and the controller is turned on. I'm putting the controller down so I don't touch it. And then turning on the ESC by pressing and holding this button here. And we should be good to go. Okay. First off, whoa. That was just a little touch. This is 70%. So with that in mind, let's go up here this way first. 70%. Oh. Let's go to 100. Turn it. Holy moly! Get out of there. Never seen a car or RC car go that fast, folks. This is the fastest RC car I've ever tested, so I better be a little careful with this one here. I don't know how to stop it once it gets that speed. Now, I wish I had a GPS, folks, and I do have a GPS coming here so that we can eventually measure these speeds of these cars when I race them out here. But right now, we're just guesstimating this just by looks. But yeah. Oh man, that thing. Oh, it's wiggling a little there. I think that's that gyro kicking in there. But holy moly. Can I stop it? Oh yeah, you can brake it. It does have brakes. But let me show you that, folks. Let's get up close to it and then just accelerate. Come back here. Okay, ready? Going up to it and then accelerating. God, it rockets. It's a rocket. Okay, it swerved a bit there. Coming around, let's go this way now. This is a bad car, a bad-ass car, man. This is not a toy, folks. This is not for beginners. Oh, I spun out there. That gyro couldn't stop at that time. Okay, the brakes are working on it. Wow. This is the fastest RC car I've ever had. No, I wish I had a GPS, folks. And I got one coming again. I'm from AliExpress. But this just leaves my mouth agape. How fast this can go. Wow. Okay, stuck in the grass again. So hold on, folks, while I get it out of there and let this guy go through doing what he's doing. Okay, let's put it back on the ground. Let's go to the other end here. Okay, I got something stuck in the steering again. Now that's something I got to bring up here, folks. That splash guard only works so well, but sometimes you do get something stuck in that in the servo arm to prevent steering. A rock can get stuck in there, and it's happened twice already just now. But let's go over here. Let's go to the far end, folks. The reason I'm going to the far end, that guy's cutting grass here, and he's making a lot of noise. But we can play over this area. Look at this rocket. Oh, good Lord, that's a rocket. On 3S battery, I mean, wow.
This would hurt you though. So you've got to be careful, folks. Not for kids, this one. Definitely not for kids, this one. Although it looks so cool with those lights. This is just shockingly fast. Love it. I love this car. This is a keeper. Looks like somebody else was peeling out here. Okay, I'm not going full speed right there, but obviously. Swerving a little bit there. And such a neat car. Such a neat car. But yeah, meant for paved surfaces. Probably best. Okay, do I got any unpaved surface around here to try it on? Used to. This used to be all dirt. Not anymore. I'm trying that gyro. That gyro is working well. Well, there we go. I was able to spin out that time. This is a neat car, folks. Thank you, MJX, for setting this. This is something neat to try. Wow. Come back here. This is fun, man. I just can't describe it any other way. It's fun. This car. It screams. Screaming Mimi. Police Pursuit Special. Last of the V8. Max Rakatansky going by there. Now let's swerve it a bit. Did you see that, folks? It was quivering there. It's not doing it now, but it was there for a second. I guess it's hitting, when I decelerate, it does that. Decelerating, it swerves a bit. But okay. Can I drift to these tires? Nah. Although I don't really want to. That'll tear up those tires on this asphalt. Yeah, this is something you'd race. I mean, if you got folks to race against, this would make a real good racer. I'm trying to drive it normal now. See the waiver there? Now, you can adjust the gate on that gyro to minimize that, I guess. But I'm not doing that right now. I'm going slower speed right now. Now, for the remainder, let's keep it close. Just show it to you. Fun car. Fun and fast. Amazingly fast for this scale. I guess, yeah, there was maybe a 45 mile an hour there. Maybe faster. Again, I got a GPS coming, but it could be here for 2 more weeks. It's coming from AliExpress. You know, I could plop on the top of this, but maybe I'll do a follow-up once that GPS comes in and let you know what this top speed is on this thing. because it's amazingly fast. So, okay, that's about it, folks. We're going to bring it in now. Just wanted to show you that, yeah, this thing can move. Pretty neat car. Pretty neat. So, from MJX Hypergo, the H14MK. Bad car, badass car. Really cool car, folks. I like it. I like it a lot. So, hope you enjoyed this test drive. This is Quadcopter 101. Signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.